Helicopter Man pounds dinosaur billionaire ass until I reach the edge of my gag reflex. I close my eyes and focus, commanding the nanobots to change within my body ever so slightly until I finally feel comfortable going even deeper as he fills my throat entirely. Weird that it was sent from an electronics place and it's the full-blown Quran, but I know there's going to be a lot of people in the audience just cringing when I...
The fall of Idubbbz. What can we learn about story writing from Idubbbz? Idubbbz might have just had the greatest crash out or fallout ever, and it's captured people's attention. And just like your story needs to capture the attention of your readers or viewers, so let's try to dissect this a little bit. Maybe we can learn a little bit about studying the downfall of Idubbbz, and we can maybe discuss how we can apply this to our own stories. A car crashes. That grabs everyone in the town's attention. Everybody brings out their phones, everything, all that. And there's a bunch of traffic now that you have to sit through because everybody's rubbernecking down the road to see the car crash. Yeah, we just had an event that universally just captured everyone's attention, right? Probably for the wrong reasons. But that's what you want from your own story, right? Maybe. Now, in Idubbbz's particular case, that wasn't a car crash. No, he was something much more spectacular. He wasn't just some rando in a car. He was a man like toppling down a mountain in his skis, just constantly falling down. Or what's his name? With Chris Farley, where he keeps falling down the hill and there's no stopping. That's the kind of event that Idubbbz has kind of created by accident. He was a man on top of the world on the tallest mountain, and we watched him tumble all the way down. See, the Idubbbz story begins with him kind of playing the hero archetype.
I'm gay!
He used his time for justice by calling out some of those most more annoying bad people on the internet, a little bit of a content cop, right? He was effective, and people cheered. Usually with cases of people like this who climb to such heights of popularity, they have their Icarus moment and they burn up from flying too close to the sun. And that's not what happened. And again, that would be more like a car crash kind of event. No, Idubbbz is much more like Griffith. Griffith! From Berserk. What do I mean? A hero. Like a hero among the commoners. Cheered on for all of his accomplishments, defeating all of his enemies, then the downfall. The slow downfall. He slightly loses just a little bit of control, and just like that, everything unravels and comes crashing. See, in the story of Berserk, Guts, the main character, decided to stop following Griffith during their height, and just that simple act of Griffith losing the control of his soldier made him completely lose it altogether. He crumbled. Just kind of like this is Idubbbz's like Anissa moment, right? That's Guts leaving Griffith. That's the Anissa news coming out that she's doing OnlyFans in the video that followed.
My girlfriend started an OnlyFans account, and I think all of it is cool.
The Idubbbz response with that video, from his fans hating him for the fact that he was, I guess, okay with his girlfriend doing OnlyFans, was weak. And this was the first time there was like an Idubbbz video, which kind of was on the negative side of the reception. I think it had like a positive like to dislike ratio, but still, even having such a percentage of dislikes was unheard of for Idubbbz. So soon after this large chink in Idubbbz's image, he started to turn on his fans. Great idea, right?
I did not like the interactions that I had with fans. There were quite a few human beings that I interacted with.
In person?
Yeah, in person, that just sucked. They just sucked because I attracted a lot of people who sucked.
He was falling down this hill fast, like that skier, right? That skier. And with every step, people's attention grew more to watch Idubbbz, and now for the wrong reason. Idubbbz was no longer being viewed for his triumphs, but for his failures. This was completely solidified when he made the video claiming that he now hated his fans. It's crazy. This was the moment that Griffith sacrificed the Band of the Hawk. basically crucified all of his fans, and then moved on to terrorist sympathizers for some reason. This new group of people is just wanting people more to cheer on his failure. As not to forget, we also had the moment after that, which was a continuing part of his downfall, where we had the Sam Hyde video that Sam Hyde ended up releasing, and then his follow-up video. Now you could just see how everyone turned. That was like the pure let's watch it. His just him get gaslit by this other guy that he went to try to go kind of ruin his image. Attempted to. And then that event ended up getting his Creator Clash event ruined, because Ian self-destructed and started unnecessary drama. It was unnecessary with some of the fighters. I think Froggy Fresh. And then he spent too much money on Idubbbz joining the event and whatnot, and ended up owing $250,000 or something like that. Not owing, but like they lost, whatever. That number is what was thrown out, and we all laughed. That's a huge number. That's a huge failure. And again, we're still watching the tumble. Like that's not even the end point of this. We're still watching the tumble, and we're like, okay, what's gonna happen next? And what happened next is we had the content cop on Ethan Klein of all people. Now, I'm no fan of Ethan Klein, but it's pretty obvious in this situation, unless you're a Hassan fan, which, I mean, are you a person if you're a Hassan fan? No. Yeah, H3 was certainly the good guy in this situation of the, I guess, victim of the content cop. I'm not going to go into the whole details, obviously. If you're watching this video, you probably know plenty of what's happened with the content cop, or if you got the gist of it. So, all we need to know at this point is where Idubbbz is basically become a worm who betrayed his best friend. His best friend, his friend, his good friend. Friend of 8 years. Either way, slimy move. Total villain behavior. And I know I said he disavowed his friends, was like sacrificing the Band of the Hawk before, but obviously you can kind of see a parallel with this situation of the content cop and all the follow-on videos that occurred because of the content cop directly. The release of that was like the shocking moment of when Griffith said the words, "I sacrifice."
You, only you, and you alone, who made me forget my dream. I sacrifice.
And this is solidified Idubbbz as a supervillain, essentially. Any loss moving forward for Idubbbz is going to be seen as a huge win for all the people that read it at this point. So if this was a character that you write, a friend that betrays his own friends, your reader or your viewers are now completely engaged to watch this character be destroyed. It's important to point out in this situation that Idubbbz, he doesn't have the behelit, right? There's no him becoming Femto, the ultimate BDSM god, I think. So I know not all this is like in the right order exactly with how the events happen in Berserk, but we have some similarities that we can pull and actually apply that to characters for our stories. And you might be wondering who in Berserk is Anissa and Hassan. So Anissa, first off, not Slan. That's sexist. She's Ubik, obviously Ubik. She's like Ubik disguised as that old lady in Griffith's dream, whispering, trying to convince him to do all the evil things. Yeah, that's Anissa. And Hassan, who is he? For the manga readers, you'll know he's Ganishka. Very obviously, you can see the Arab references, and that he's just a fart cloud. So in this scenario, does this kind of make Ethan from H3 guts in a way? Yeah, no, but we're not, he's more like Gaston in Berserk. Now, there are plenty of stories where the hero becomes the villain, but few stories have this slow, continuous crash. And I also love Berserk, and I talk about Berserk all the time in the story, and I know that viewers that click on this channel probably have seen Berserk too. So it's great to try to make these parallels and try to cross-reference that with the writing that you're doing. That's kind of cool, right? So like I said, when you're writing your own story, this is some of the attributes to heavily consider to pretty much guarantee having a character that will make your viewer hunger to keep engaging with your story. To see this character inevitably plummet. Okay, like, I know you probably don't want to think about Idubbbz when you're writing your story, but it's good to reference real life to get ideas. can pull from that. And this is a great situation that's happened for our entertainment. And I'll probably come up with maybe some more of these parallels with other people. Maybe. We'll see how this does. Guys, if you did make it this far, I do have some news for you. You are retarded. But that's okay. You could just join me on the short bus with all my other subs, help me get to 1,000. And before you click off, let me just say, if you could do me a favor, either click on my Substack link or my Twitter link and follow me on Twitter and watch my retarded takes. But with the Substack is my email list to get notifications, news about my upcoming projects. I write books, which you can find out about that on that link as well. And I will have more books coming out and maybe comics. So if you want to keep up updated on that, please sign up to my email list. Until next time, guys, have a good one.